Hi everyone, this is 17th of December weekly update for BTC to start with. Yesterday of so this is 12 hours. Let's open the daily. So for last 2 days, BTC is under correction, and what we see here is it has retested the blue. So retracement up to this one would have been very healthy. Retracement up to this one is kind of an edge, though it is still above the warning level, so there's nothing to worry literally. However, it would have been good if it would have stayed somewhere here and then consolidate and move up. But this is not point of concern at this moment, as long as it stays above the warning level. But yeah, if this level is breached, then definitely there'll be more downside pressure, and then the probability of new low will go up significantly high. Um, in that case, I doubt if it will be able to defend if that has to happen. So at this moment, as I said earlier, um, we don't have to speculate. If you follow in technicals, then what technical analysis is offering us is the key levels, different key levels. And the recent trend we analyze, we look at what it is doing now and refer the key levels. So right now it is on the blue, so safe, and this warning level is something we are supposed to watch now. Okay, so that's the current situation. If we look at the recent past, this is the low, this is a retest, and then it has been making higher lows. Now, one may argue that this is not a higher low, but it's point of debate. If you consider only 2 points, 1, 2, and then this could be third. If you consider this whole entire thing is one wave, so it's a little bit debatable. But this is quite a bit. This is a strong one. That's why if this is broken, then we can say there's no more higher lows, right? Then that argument would be valid. At this moment, I would say it's we can still consider this as higher lows. Okay, so that's one aspect. Another aspect is the trend line. If the trend line point of view, the trend line is broken. So this, if I draw this line, this trend line is broken. Now, technical analysis can be done using different methods. So trend line is one of the methods. So not everything will be rosy. Everything will be indicating strong move or strong position. Sometimes some aspects of technical analysis indicates weakness. And I would say yes, trend line indicating that the momentum has been interrupted. But if you consider other factors, then I would say the overall scenario hasn't been disturbed. And that is very important because, as I said, if there are 10 methods, it would be amazing if all 10 methods pointing to the same direction. But sometimes one of them or some of them would contradict each other, and TA has to come up with a conclusion. Right. So we can look at the same thing from different angles, but currently my conclusion is right now there is no immediate threat. Okay, so but yeah, as if I talk about trend line, definitely this is broken. What it means is it will back in the game from a trend line point of view once it breaks above this green trend line that I have added here. So that's a simple interpretation. That means so even if it breaks above this support line, I think it should be good enough, which is now going to be resistance at 170,150. Today, Saturday, evening, some of you Sunday. Basically, it's a weekend, and we'll be focusing on other factors. We'll have a quick look at TXY as well. If I quickly reiterate, I would not say reiterate, but review what happened with the Fed's meeting is so definitely 50 basis point, like 0.5% rate hike that was expected by the market. So we got that. So the market should be happy. However, I think there was something he added that the target rate is much higher. So the rate hiking is going to happen in 2023 next year. And market didn't like that. However, it's not devastating, I would say, because nobody assumed that the rate hike is going to be stopped after December. Nobody assumed that. So I believe that it's more of a reaction uh, from crypto market. Definitely, there was some weakness in stock market as well, but I think crypto market reacted uh, more strongly, in my opinion, this week. The Friday's close of stock market wasn't bad, but the last 2 days of Bitcoin, like move, was showing weakness. And uh, apart from technical analysis, I think the known reason is the Binance related concern. Uh, Funds are moving out, liquidity is has reduced, and yeah, bit the social media is bombarding with you know information which is negatively impacting the traders, especially um, yeah, it would impact the mass because FTX event was horrific. So once people have seen what would happen with FTX, I mean, what happened with FTX and the impact, so definitely they would not like to see the same and if something goes wrong with the Binance, then the impact would be larger even. So I think it makes sense for people to worry. However, we are not worrying. We are more aware, and I think it's more about watching what is happening for sure, but following the key levels because ultimately price matters. Some news may or may not impact, but if the price is affected by something, then definitely we have key levels that are going to tell us what to do. So, of course, one has to keep in touch with what is happening, but I would say your best friend is your best friend could be the key level, Bitcoin's key level. At this moment, I would say the price is here and price is not here. So that's why we had to change the gear to lower gear because again we are in a traffic jam kind of situation. I'm not saying we just get out of the car and stop driving, but it's definitely traffic jam. There's panic, right? So not a financial advice, but my own point of view is it is okay to be conservative. It is okay to choose coin like Bitcoin, which moves slowly and more manageable, more liquidity compared to other coins. And it's just matter of time. If BTC bounces, one could expand it to, so probably it's more like a temporary solution in my point of view. Because if you think of negative scenario, it is easier to track Bitcoin because I'm updating Bitcoin and you have the key level and it moves slowly. So if impact with BTC is going to be the lowest in my opinion. So compared to other coins which move fast, and I've seen that so many coins made new low, right? We I think in our active list we're going to see that. But in general also there are so many coins made new low. So Of course, the altcoins are comparatively weaker in terms of price action, especially when the BTC dives, I mean dips. So that is obvious, right? So I think that could be an approach, right? Yeah. But yeah, it's once it bounces off this blue and reaches even like not necessarily all the way, even if it breaks above 70,400, can expand it. That's what I was thinking. Okay, so that's something from it's my personal point of view, as I said, right? What else? Let's look at the BTC and weekly. The weekly candles without drawing. Let's look at weekly. This is not a good sign, right? This is not a good sign, but because it also broke below the last week's low. The week hasn't ended, so I won't conclude. So before Sunday, if it breaks, if it moves up and bounces, then things could improve. But if I look at the present is indicating weakness. It's this is bad rejection. Looking at the candle, but this hasn't broken this low from a candle point of view. This was anyway non-existential to me because there was no body. So to me, this was more important. So this is still um, above this low, or even not just low, but opening as well. So that's why this is not a point of concern at this moment from a weekly chart point of view. If you look at monthly, which I shared, uh, okay, so monthly, let's look at the big picture here, right? So this we are trying to cover last 9 years of wave here, starting from 2013. So starting from this one, there were three touches, and this is the fourth major one. So these were back to back. This was close, not on, but close enough. And this has touched. So last month it touched. This month it is right on top of it. If you look at closely, right? So there was a touch, and it's very close. So that's the scenario. Since it's above the trend line, we can say the monthly is intact, and sometime here and there is fine. Little bit of right. That's why I put a circle there. Right. It doesn't mean all the way here, but of course up to the monthly low. So when we talk about monthly, our tolerance level is also higher. Um, so it changes. So if on a daily, even $200 probably matters, but on a monthly $200 is probably too sensitive. So the range could be higher. So when we talk about monthly, the most important one is the last month's low, right? So that's the white level, 15,475 on which then it could be different on different exchanges, but that's how it is. So I think this is the most important. So there are different ways we can look at it, but to me, this is one of the simplest ways. And if this is broken, then what else? I mean, then I would say that would be really bad. I had explained this in one of the videos, maybe a month or 2 months ago, that explained to some other layout, but essentially all the prior drops were far away from the previous top. If you look at uh, this drop, even I think on VLX, yeah, so this was the one. So let's have a quick look at it. Okay, this is interesting. So this is the support. The support is broken. It tried to break above, but rejected. So if you look at this layout, monthly layout, it's weak, no doubt about it. The monthly hasn't improved, right? And the month hasn't ended, so we cannot conclude for sure. But if you think about the present, the monthly is weak, very weak. So not looking good for sure. Right. But today, as I said, this is middle of the month, and we still have few days left, and uh, few days of pump would change the scenario. So we cannot conclude it. However, we can always talk about the present. Right? The present is not looking good. Not looking good on a week, on a monthly. Now, yeah, to my previous topic, what I was saying that look, if you look at this correction, so this was the second correction. This is the first cycle, right? First correction, second and second correction. So this, you see the orange line, there was huge gap between this top and the bottom. Then this was the top and the bottom. So as you see the orange line reduced over time, right? Now what happened here, it touched this one. So there's no orange line because there's no gap. So it happened for the first time in the entire history of Bitcoin. So this level was important and that is broken. Now, so one may argue that, okay, now this is broken, so what? So I would say from this layout point of view, there are three major supports. One is the way it supported this 19K. It could, this 11, 12K could support. So this drop would touch 11K, 12K range from this, and it could bounce from here. If not, it will continue going down like this and could touch 6,600, 6,000 range. Yeah, I know this is scary. I am, but I mean, we have to talk about scenario. So, and this level is broken. So I think it makes sense to talk about it for awareness, as I mentioned earlier. But month is not over. So this is not conclusive yet. This is a potential scenario at this moment. Right. So I'll stop here, but I just wanted to talk about why this is so important, why this level is so important, where it stands from cycles, the top and the bottom relationship point of view. Okay, so that part is covered. Let's get back to the prior chart. So this is another one. So if you look at two different methods, from this trend line point of view, it's on edge, right? From this support point of view, it is broken. So as I mentioned earlier, when you look at I mean, when you apply different methods, but it could give different answers. And then, uh, we have to, I mean, DA has to conclude. So my conclusion for now is this is a borderline case. Okay, the things could go wild. However, there's no need to assume. I'm trying to make it very simple here. We have very precise levels. If it breaks below warning level, then consider as a potential risk. And if it, of course, if it breaks below this, then it's a definitive risk, right? Because that's, we are saying from, because it's unlikely to hold in that case. So this could be the beginning of the correction, but we are not going to conclude it because the level is not reached. So that's my take. And that's why I mentioned that it's okay to be conservative. Okay, it's okay to prefer Bitcoin and focus on Bitcoin rather than trying to try different things. And I'm purposefully not sharing uh Trident related posts. It's not that I'm super busy, but sometimes, you know what, if the market is not offering something, I don't want to post something just for sake of posting because it could shoot up like, but you may not be able to grab it. It happened. I was typing and one of the coins went up by 100%. And then I said, okay, forget about it. So that's what happens. And so anything that moves may not last long because BTC right now under pressure, and this is weekend. Right? We have to see how the market opens on Monday. the stock market, and other DXY and other things, right? So once we get more data, then probably we should try to explore. So for now, I'm purposefully not posting anything on Trident. Okay, I know this is weekly call, but I'm just mixing up and including, I would say, including. So there is a reason why I'm not posting anything here. Okay, and it's okay to. So we can observe for 1 day, 2 day, couple of days, and see what it's trying to do. Because if it continues going down, then one would lose a lot with altcoin compared to Bitcoin. So better to focus on Bitcoin at this moment. Once we have clarity, I mean, clear move on the upside, then we can say, okay, now it starts, we starts with other coin, something like that. So that's my approach at this moment, or position, I would say. We need couple of days until Monday to see Monday how it behaves, especially, and then we'll decide the next move. Okay, I hope this. If you have any question, I'm going to post this video. If you have any question, feel free to ask me. I'm happy to answer. So as per the regular process, let's go through each and every coin. We'll look at weekly. Atom again on the support line on edge. EVAX again on the edge. Touch this one twice. It's on edge. BNB is under pressure. We know why. So I think I had to remove this because it moved up to this, but this week it didn't work out. So this pattern is broken. This pattern is definitely broken. Otherwise, it would have made nice symmetrical, ball kind of a shape. But this particular move has broken. So this pattern is invalidated. We will have to wait for another pattern to be formed. At this moment, I'm not adding any support here. I'm just going to keep this because to me, BNB would be ready once it breaks above 258. I don't want to add a support as I mentioned because if it fails to bounce and breaks above this, then it could make new low. So I'll just wait for now. Okay, and also because the low is here, so it could make another dip. I mean, it could dip and then bounce. So no need to go micro level on a weekly chart at this moment. So this is the important level, and this was the important level. Right now it is under correction. So it has to either move above this one or break below for this is like kind of a indecisive zone. We don't know at this moment. And today is up by 2%, which is encouraging, but drop was pretty deep, like on a weekly basis. So right, I think we have to wait for this. So opportunity point of view, as I said, it has to break above this, then it makes sense. I would not touch this coin at this moment. CRO has touched the support again. Now, yeah, if it breaks below, I'll provide the lower one. But I would suggest you ask me because if nobody is taking this coin, then there's no need to provide new low. We'll just monitor. But if somebody is interested, I'll definitely add one. Doge has retested this line again, very close to the support. So it sits there. If it's boring, but you can say this drop is more like a retest of this, double bottom from this particular setup point of view. This Doge is still very strong. Though percentage point of view, it might have gone down deeply, but we know that it's a fast moving coin. If it starts making move on the upside, it can recover very quickly. This candle is is an evidence. So if it starts bouncing, then re- regaining its prior high is not a big deal for it. It's just a matter of time. Okay, DOT is not looking good. So it has made a new low, right? It has made a low. So that's a sign of weakness. We cannot touch this. But if you're interested in support, I'm happy to provide, as I said earlier. EGLD. EGLD is also not looking good. It has broken it and could make a new low. So this is not looking good. And same thing. If you're interested, I'll give you the support. I tried to calculate, but it would be good if you ask me because if nobody is interested, then there's no need to provide support. Okay. Ethereum is relatively stronger, right? There's no new low, or it's not even close to the June low. So that's a sign of strength. However, we know that it's tied up with BTC, so the focus is BTC. But yeah, this is one of the strongest ones. Filecoin made new low and got back to this level. So yeah, so this is the weakness continues. I would say weakness continues, and there is a potential bounce from here or recovery from here, but it's very hard to say because there is no move that is suggesting. So even if you draw simple trend line from the top like this, it's not able to break above this trend line. See, it's not able to break above this trend line. So many rejection, 1, 2, 3. So this is simple approach. So I would say at least it has to break above this first to say, okay, now it wants to go up. So ever since we got out on this point of rejection, it never made up to that level. So yeah, the weakness continues, I would say. One of the weakest one. Flux shown some energy today, up by 9%. You know that Flux is crazy coin. It makes a big move. So as far as pattern is concerned, it's actually one of the pattern is deadly. It's actually big descending triangle that I see now. What to say? Yeah, huge one. Yeah, just this is a huge one. It's not a perfect one. This is going a little out. Yeah, not bad. But this hasn't filled up fully, so I'm not sure if it is going to bounce and then. So though it's descending triangle, the shape is a little odd. Hmm. So it could survive. That's why I'm not going to add a red arrow. I'm not going to add it. We'll just see. But yeah, tracking point of view, no doubt this support 0.391 is going to be the key one. Right? We'll have to see. But I'm not going to add red arrow yet because this descending triangle is not perfect. So yeah, okay. So I would say if in a bullish case point of view, this could still go up. What I could do is I can add a red arrow below support, which makes sense, indicating that this red arrow applies only if the support is broken. But for now, this green arrow stays. I think that makes sense. FDM, FDM, man. No new low, but it had made low last month. So yeah, the weakness continues. I think this is clearly a rejection from the trend line. You draw like this even earlier. Interesting. But yeah, we can adjust a bit. You see, it rejected by trend line. Okay, what to say? HNT is not looking good. Made new low. Made new low. Wow. The bear. It's pretty weak. Yeah. KCS. KC is under pressure. Again, there is a lot of FUD and rumor about KuCoin. So I, there's no sign of recovery. This is not to. I wouldn't touch this coin right now. It's toxic. Chainlink is also weakening. More I see the alts are weakening actually. So is it like alts are rallying? I mean, not rallying. I should say leading the bear trend. When I say leading, I mean indicating the continuation of bear trend, something like that. That's some. So that's because these are alts are alts are pretty bad. I mean, they're really in a bad situation right now. To be honest, it has changed in last 1 week or so, last 10 days especially. Last week it wasn't bad actually. So this week was pathetic, especially after Fed's meeting. Mr. Powell ruined everything. You can say that. Okay. Oof, what to say, man? If this is broken, it will definitely go to this one or even deeper because this consolidation is too big. Yeah, as I said, if you're interested, but for now, this is the support. Looking really bad, actually. Oops. Anyway, Matic. Oh, I had to remove this now. It's not going to work. Pattern is broken. We'll have to wait for new pattern. But looking weak now. Oh, no problem. This is still about the support. So this is one of the strongest, like Ethereum, right? Even uh, stronger than Ethereum out comparatively. So it's holding up pretty well. Bad, bad, bad. Sand has sunk. Man, it's new low. I mean, not to be touched. Simple. Ha, Sol is not looking good. So you see how it rejected. So it got rejected from the green again and broken. So this is not looking good. And we have the support level. You may notice somebody had asked, so I provided. Yeah, so let's have a look at DXY. So DXY is bouncing. I wouldn't say this bounce is not great, not yet. But if this bounce continues and breaks above 100, 700, then it'll be back in the game, which won't be good because if it recovers from here, then then it could touch 126, 100, sorry, 120, the next level. So the trend is not broken. This is a critical support zone. Yeah, so the trend, I would say this the counter trend. This is the main trend. Just for you to know the terminology of TA. this is the main trend. Okay, the main trend is bullish, and this is called counter trend. Counter trend means the trend that goes against for temporary, and the counter trend would convert into downtrend. Okay, so even small correction like these are also counter trend. Like this correction is also counter trend, but this is a big one, right, and a long one. So if it continues, and it is continuing, so counter trend is continuing, and of course the uptrend is also continuing. So terminology point of view, we can say the uptrend is still intact, where the counter trend is growing. And if this growth is enough and breaks below this, then the uptrend breaks, and the counter trend will change into downtrend. I hope this clarifies. These are terminologies and definition, I would say, very important to understand, because you might be thinking, if it is going down, is it not a downtrend? So answer is not. It's not. It's a counter trend, not downtrend. Okay, so that is clarified. Yeah, so I wish that it breaks below 103. If not, then it's going to make trouble, right? Obviously, that's the scenario. But yeah, right now the bounce is not enough, so it's not conclusive at all, right? That's why we need to wait for next week and see if it makes on the upside or goes towards this. If it moves towards this, then that will be amazing, because then uh, it could it could it could be in the downtrend or and the uptrend now DXY. So that's it, I think. Yeah. So in summary, I would say BTC is on edge, but no need to speculate. We have key levels, right? Key levels, very simple approach, and and key levels are there. So I think they are our best friends, as I mentioned. Right? And life is simple, trading is simple. We don't need to overcomplicate. As I mentioned, one of the tweets from today, I mentioned that we had to. So sometimes when we're holding it, we expect market to behave in a certain way, in a favorable way. And my approach is, of course, that's a human, I mean, expectation. Nothing wrong about it. But the point is, the expectation should not be the roadblock. Okay, being a human, the expectation are going to be there, but expectation should not be the roadblock. What I mean is, if somebody is holding, the market is behaving in an opposite direction, the expectation is to get a big bounce or recovery, but the market is not indicating so or not offering any opportunity. Then one has to understand when to give up and change the expectation and in tune with the market. That's what I do, and that's what my message is. There's nothing wrong for now to expect it to recover because it hasn't breached the warning level. But if you're ignoring the warning level and still expecting that it'll go up, then we can say that you are following the expectation, not the technicals. Okay, I'm not saying my technicals are the ultimate guide, but if you trust my levels, then that's what it means, right? So at this moment, it's okay to have expectation, but one needs to know when to change it. So that's my message. Very important key message. Okay. Feel free to ask me. I'm happy to spend time. Any question you might have, just shoot. Uh, yeah, I'll be watching it. Um, of course, not while I'm sleeping, but you have the key levels, right? So yeah, it's time to monitor and see how it behaves. And even if it comes to this level, we're good. So let's hope for that and not this level. That will change everything. Okay, then I'll stop here. Talk to you soon. Bye.